always pretty good. I was A B student. Every now and then I made a C.
Okay.
My mom was a no tolerance for bad grades.
Sure. And that definitely had to help with recruiting. I mean, you have the size, the athleticism, but
Right.
you know, student athletes listening to this have to understand that grades are a major factor with being recruited.
Major.
Right. So.
Yeah. Preparing yourself, knowing that grades are more important actually than the sport that you're playing.
Right.
Because it will take you far longer in life. And having an understanding that at a young age and the maturity, man, is definitely something that you need to seek out.
Sure.
Because you're the only person that can take those, national exams in order to qualify, so you can go to these schools and
speaking
play.
of exams, did you know much about the testing and the test score and clearinghouse or anything?
Man, no, I was oblivious to that. I knew I had to take the SAT if I wanted to go to college,
Sure.
or the ACT. Back then, we didn't have to do as much as I think they have to do now. All I had to do was take the ACT, and I passed it with like a 17 score at the time.
Okay.
But it was just enough to get me qualified to get a scholarship, so I was done with it. I didn't have to do a writing portion or anything like that.
You were good.
But I was a little scared at the time, because you're like, man, it's this test that I have to take that pretty much determines
Yep.
if I can make it to the next level or
Sure,
not, or if
sure.
I have to go a different route.
Absolutely. Who were some of your mentors in high school?
Man, some of my mentors, aside from my mom, who was a very staple mentor in my life from the things she did, it was my AU coach. His name was Marlon Lowe. I played AAU basketball
Okay.
probably from about 6th grade to 5th grade to about 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a no-nonsense kind of person.
Right.
And he pushed and pulled everything out of you that you didn't think you had at the time. And so that on a young person's mind is like, man, he's mean, he rude, and all of this, that, and the third. I mean, all the while he was molding me into somebody that could withstand things thrown at him. So.
Right.
Marlon Lowe was a good mentor for me growing up in
something that you
grade
didn't
school.
realize until you got older that he was just doing the right things and molding you to be.
Yeah, he was being hard for a reason.
Right. Yeah, that's good. What about so you're being recruited? Who are some of the schools that came after you in your senior year?
Oh man, Texas. A lot of the big schools here in Texas. UT, A&M, Rice and Information, UT El Paso. Then it was like your Mizzou's. It was LSU.
So you were a big time recruit at this point. And I mean, I know now you have the 7-on-7, which is, for offensive players and skill players. You're a defensive player, and they go to these combines or whatnot. But how were high school football players noticed then? I mean,
they had third-party sites they have now.
Right,
I think they have what's called Huddle.
Sure.
They had a form of that then, so you could get film put on there.
Okay.
I know a lot of coaches, a lot of players from different schools said that their coaches would put together like film for them, and they may have relationships with other players.
Right.
Other coaches that are at the next level, and they would shoot that out if they had a potential player that they could be recruited.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, it was just the paper.
Mm-hmm.
The paper was big. Every Sunday, I was looking at the paper for what I did on Friday or Saturday night, and it had just stats if you hit a certain point in the game. So that was cool, but it's not near as what they have today.
Right.
And then the Texas Football Magazine that comes out every year, you can get that at any local grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Being in that and being recognized in that was big as well.
Okay. So you chose Texas Christian University, TCU. Why did you choose TCU?
They kind of chose me. So my senior year, maybe third game into the season, I had a really bad high ankle sprain in practice. Last thing of practice, we were practicing special teams, kickoff return, and it was squid kick, if anybody knows that.
You didn't get taped.
Man, it's embarrassing, the story.
Yeah.
But I tell you, so that day I had like a project at school, so I came in formal wear, and I had dress socks. And so I'm out in dress socks in football,
Right.
and so it was slippery inside my shoe. And when I tried to plant and turn and go a different way, that weight and momentum carry, you could feel and hear my ankle pop.
Whoa.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. It's just
church socks.
because of the church socks, the Rydales.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking, oh, just a sprain. But if you've ever had a sprain and a high ankle sprain, it's two different things.
Yeah.
And so that high ankle sprain took me out for quite a while. And at that point, a lot of the teams that were hunting me or out for me, they couldn't watch me, and so they would send the letters like, "Oh, we're gonna go a different direction." And TCU was kind of the team that stuck around.
Okay. All right. So at that point, TCU, I mean, what was their program like? Because you went there and did something special, but when they were recruiting you,
I had never heard of them.
Okay.
I was like, who are the Horned Frogs?
Sure.
The year before, I had went to a camp that they had at Rose Stadium, and they recruited my brother, and he ended up going to Tech. And Coach Patterson was there at the time, and he recognized what I was capable of doing. And he spoke to my mom in the stands, and from that point on, they will recruit me. And they hung around. And they specialize in taking recruits that play a certain position and changing them. As you know, I played D-tackle in college, but I was a tight end my last 2 years in school, high school. But TCU, man, the program there, they were 11-2 when I got there.
Okay.
So they were decent, but they were coming from the Mountain West Conference. It wasn't a top 5 conference at the time.
Right.
And so it wasn't recognized nationally.
Big 12.
Now they're in the Big 12.
Sure.
Now they're in the Big 12.
Okay.
So TCU, man, they had athletes. When I got there, you would never known. I mean, this is the same school that LT went to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I had no clue.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, so I mean, I just remember TCU. You watch some of their games. It wasn't that big of a crowd at the games, but I do remember you playing in college, and I mean, you guys had a great run of playing in some big, huge games. But first of all, going there and choosing that, was it a culture shock for you to go to TCU? Huge culture shock. Tell us why.
When you're at TCU, coming from A-Leaf, it's like you put yourself in a bubble, because around TCU is just like here in Third Ward. You know what I'm saying? It's a little rough around the edges, but within 5 miles of the school, it's beautiful. And it reminds me a lot like Third Ward, where U of H and TSU, because you got mansions in some area, and then you got older Third Ward. Same difference. But getting there and being the only person of brown skin in the class, and the class being small, it's like you stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
And so, not just that, I had dealt with majority white people before, but it was different, because these were people that come from money,
right,
and they come from a lot of things given to them. And so you would see oftentimes a kid have a way fancier car than the professors.
Right.
And this is a private school, so